I'm Jan Vinci. Since I posted my performance of Mark Vinci's Crow's Nest for solo flute, many of you have bought the sheet music. I thought it would be helpful to give you a background of the piece and also offer a few performance suggestions. I'm going to interject some video clips that I took when I had a lesson with Mark. However, I was not anticipating at the time that I would be using those in an instructional video for others. So Mark is a bit off to the side, but it will still be helpful to see those. First of all, crow's nest is not about birds. A crow's nest is the perch at the top of a ship's mast. From the crow's nest, a shipmate reports the various conditions of the ocean and the sky, and he reports down to the crew on deck. Mark's piece depicts tumultuous storms and serene calm, as well as mystery and beauty. Now let's talk about some of the performance aspects. Tempo. Mark composes work as a piece that does change moods but does not change tempos. The tempo should be around half note equals 98, and the A and B sections are contrasting moods and feels despite the fact that they are the same tempo. Crow's Nest can be very effective without any embellishments, but as you play it more, you may feel the urge to add your own touches. I'll suggest a few embellishments and offer explanations on how to do them.
A lot of times you accent the top note of a pattern.
And throw away the other one.
Syncopations and accents are key to delivering the more agitated character of Section A. Make the accents clear and maybe even overblow some of the syncopations to get a powerful multiphonic sound, more than one note sounding at a time. I added specific articulations to help me bring across the character of the motives. My articulation choice in measure 153 and 155 was to bring out the higher syncopated notes. Section B is more serene. Here I added some sighs and note embellishments to depict the beauty and the passion. The most traditional embellishments that I added were grace notes and glissandi. Keep in mind as you add them, the purpose is to draw attention to a specific note, interval, or rhythm. I also wanted to make some notes sound like a sigh, so I bent their pitch. I'll now play for you a section starting at measure 217. Now for a couple more adventuresome ideas. If we are playing a solo piece, it might be nice to have a second voice. So I decided to harmonize the melody. I'll play for you at measure 43. And you'll notice if you try this that the difficulty really comes in when you're trying to maintain the higher notes as you sing. And the idea here is that you want to maintain the intensity of the airstream. If you don't know how to sing and play at the same time, don't worry, it's not that difficult. Find a pitch that you're comfortable singing. Ooh. Find that note on your instrument. Form an embouchure and sing that pitch as you blow cool air against your hand. Then you do it on your instrument. can also then take it a step further, and as you're playing that one note, vary the pitch of your voice. In bar 169, this is what Joe used to do. And you actually accent the second beat of that, and then you really clip that fourth beat. So what I decided to do at one point when this comes, because it does come several times, is I decided I'm going to sing the lowest pitch for the entire half note and then move to the next pitch for the entire half note. And that way you get a little bit of harmony or continuity with just the singing. So.
Yeah. 122, 124, 126, and 128 are what should stand out. That's like a big band trumpet players going ba-da, da-da,
yeah,
ba-da, da-da. The rest of the stuff is understated.
I also use the percussive or beatbox style, and I did this throughout the piece in different sections. Specifically, I use this in 192 to 205, and in measure 200, for example, I used a pressurized duh attack on beats 1, 2, and 3, and then I used a attack on the fourth beat to imitate a hi-hat cymbal. So I'll play now from 192 to 205. So I'll show you what I do for some of the percussive or beatbox style attacks. The first one, I write in my music TDA. That sounds like this. I put my tongue up where the ridge starts going up in the mouth, and then I completely close off the inner cavity of the mouth with the tongue. Then I push a lot of air against the tongue, creating a whole lot of pressure. And once that pressure is really, really strong, you drop the tongue, and then voila, you have your attack. And you can vary that so that you can get either more harmonics or less harmonics. The idea, though, is you want it very resonant, keep the tongue low in the back. I also imitated the hi-hat cymbal sound. And the way you do that is you first curl and tuck the tip of the tongue down behind the lower teeth. Then, holding that position, push the tongue forward so that it's behind both the upper and the lower teeth. Then you blow, creating a lot of air pressure behind the tongue. While you keep the tongue tip tucked behind the lower teeth, you draw the tongue back from the upper teeth and then quickly close it back up again. That acts as a release valve and creates the sound. And this is how I used it in bar 200. In my YouTube performance, I used many other techniques to get the effects that I wanted. Ultimately, you too should find your own rendition. So whether you decide to play Crow's Nest as you see it on the page, or whether you add some of these techniques, either way, it's a fabulously fun piece and enjoy playing it.